Best HFY Tales, Diverging from the Ordinary. The Galactic Alliance had seen many species come and go, some peaceful, some warlike, but all predictable in their own ways. The Alliance prided itself on understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each species it encountered. Their universal databases were filled with profiles and reports that outlined exactly how these species operated, fought, and lived. After centuries of interstellar diplomacy and warfare, there was little that could surprise them. That is, until humans arrived on the galactic stage. At first, humanity had seemed ordinary. They were adaptable, resilient, and technologically capable, but these were traits shared by many others in the Alliance. Humanity's military and scientific achievements were respectable, but still, they seemed to fit comfortably within the galactic norm. The Alliance expected humanity to fall into place just like every other species before them. They were wrong. The unexpected arrival. It all started with a minor skirmish on the outer edge of Alliance-controlled space. A small planet, Orith 3, had been claimed by the Krell Dominion, a warrior race known for their brute strength and tactical efficiency. The Krell were notorious for their aggressive expansion, and Orith 3 was merely another stepping stone in their conquests. The Galactic Alliance, eager to avoid conflict, had sent a small peacekeeping force to negotiate a resolution. Among the contingent were a few human diplomats and soldiers, an unremarkable addition to the Alliance's diverse ranks. The Krell weren't interested in negotiations. They viewed the Alliance as weak and cowardly, and the presence of humans, a species they had only just heard of, did little to impress them. "You send these fragile beings to negotiate?" Krell Commander Varric sneered, looking down at the human diplomat before him. "We could crush them with a single swipe." Commander Riley Thorne, the ranking human officer, stood calmly, hands clasped behind his back. He had seen this kind of posturing before. The Krell were arrogant, and they believed that strength came only from physical power. They couldn't fathom that there might be other ways to win a battle. "We're not here to fight," Thorne said evenly, his gray eyes locking with Varric's glowing red ones. "We're here to find a peaceful solution." Varric laughed, a deep, rumbling sound. "Peace is for the weak. The Krell take what they want." Thorne didn't flinch. "I'd advise you to reconsider." Varric's amusement faded. He leaned forward, his massive frame casting a shadow over Thorne. "And if we don't?" Thorne's voice was steady, but there was a glint in his eyes. "Then you'll learn that humans are not as ordinary as you think." Deviation from the mean. The negotiations fell apart. As expected, the Krell launched a surprise attack on the peacekeeping force, confident in their superior numbers and strength. The Alliance ships, unprepared for such a quick escalation, scrambled to defend themselves. But it was the humans who responded first. Thorne's squadron of human ships, though smaller and fewer in number, moved with precision and speed that took the Krell by surprise. While the Krell relied on brute force and overwhelming firepower, the humans fought differently, unpredictably. "They're not following standard tactics," Varric growled as his ship's tactical display lit up with alerts. "Where are they going?" The humans were using a method the Krell had never encountered before: unpredictability. Their ships darted in and out of enemy formations, using hit-and-run tactics that defied conventional strategies. They exploited the weaknesses in the Krell's rigid, brute force approach, striking where the Krell least expected and retreating before they could be pinned down. One by one, the Krell ships began to falter. "They're deviating from the norm," Varric's second-in-command said, his voice filled with confusion. "Impossible," Varric snarled. "No one deviates from battle strategy." But that was exactly what the humans were doing. They didn't follow the same rules that other species did. They didn't rely on overwhelming force or superior numbers. Instead, they adapted, improvised, and attacked in ways that no one could predict. It wasn't long before the Krell fleet began to crumble under the pressure. Varric, furious and desperate, ordered a full retreat. The humans had turned what should have been a decisive victory for the Krell into a humiliating defeat. A new reputation. Word of the humans' unexpected victory spread quickly through the Galactic Alliance. Species that had once viewed humans as just another addition to the galactic tapestry now saw them in a new light. The term deviation from the mean began to circulate in military and diplomatic circles, describing the unpredictable and unconventional ways in which humans operated. It wasn't just in battle that humans excelled through their unpredictability. In diplomacy, economics, and even science, they approached problems in ways that others hadn't considered. While most species followed well-established norms, humans were willing to experiment, take risks, and think outside the box. Their adaptability made them formidable allies and even more dangerous enemies. The Krell, humiliated by their defeat, sent spies to learn more about humanity. What they discovered unsettled them. Humans didn't adhere to the predictable, rigid ways of thinking that most species did. They were constantly evolving, constantly changing their tactics and strategies. This made them impossible to outmaneuver. But it wasn't just humans' unpredictability that made them dangerous, it was their tenacity. Even when faced with overwhelming odds, they didn't give up. They fought tooth and nail for every inch of ground, every bit of progress. And they didn't just fight for survival, they fought to win. A galactic lesson. The Galactic Alliance soon realized that humanity wasn't just another species to be catalogued and analyzed. They were a force that could reshape the galaxy's balance of power. What made them so unique wasn't their physical strength or technological advancements, but their ability to deviate from the ordinary. The Alliance's military commanders began studying human tactics, hoping to learn from their unpredictability. Diplomats sought to understand how humans could navigate complex political landscapes with such finesse. Scientists marveled at their innovative approaches to solving problems. But no matter how much the other species tried to emulate them, there was one thing they couldn't replicate: humanity's spirit. Commander Riley Thorne became a symbol of this new reputation. Known for his unconventional methods and his refusal to accept defeat, his victory over the Krell was just the beginning. Over time, more stories emerged of humans defying expectations, outsmarting enemies, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. In one instance, a human engineering team figured out how to repair an Alliance spaceship in record time using scavenged parts and improvised techniques. In another, human diplomats negotiated a peace treaty between two warring species by proposing a solution that no one else had even considered. And then there were the countless stories of human soldiers, explorers, and scientists who refused to follow the rules, who broke from the norm and achieved the impossible. The Galactic Alliance, once so confident in its understanding of the universe, now found itself constantly surprised by humanity. No matter how much they thought they knew about humans, there was always something new to learn. Beyond the ordinary. As time passed, humanity's reputation as the galaxy's wildcard solidified. They were no longer seen as ordinary, they were seen as the species that could break the mold, that could challenge the status quo. The Krell, still bitter over their defeat, tried to launch another attack on an Alliance outpost where humans were stationed, but this time, they were prepared for the unpredictability, or so they thought. What the Krell hadn't anticipated was that humans could adapt even further. The tactics that had worked in the previous battle were abandoned, replaced by new strategies that the Krell couldn't counter. Once again, the Krell found themselves outmaneuvered and outclassed by an enemy they had underestimated. As the human ships soared into victory once again, Varric, now defeated twice, was forced to admit what many in the galaxy had already realized: humans weren't just another species to be reckoned with, they were a deviation from the norm, a force that couldn't be predicted or controlled. The phrase deviation from the mean became synonymous with humanity's role in the galaxy. Whether in warfare, diplomacy, or exploration, humans had proven time and time again that they were capable of breaking the rules and achieving greatness in ways no one else could. They were not ordinary. They were extraordinary. And the galaxy would never be the same. In the end, humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons, it was their ability to see the universe not as it was, but as it could be, and in doing so, they carved out a place for themselves that was anything but ordinary.